We interrupt what you're watching right now to bring you this exciting story.
It's the dust and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the pledge of allegiance on the 4th of July. It's some handwritten letters from home. It's some sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. It's the red, white, and blue. Lay down, he's alive. It's the red, white, and blue. 40 stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. It's the red, white, and blue. Lay down, here's alive. It's the red, white, and blue. 40 stars and stripes. It's the red, white, and blue. Stand on the front line. It's the red, white, and blue. Pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man I was when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with all he wanted. It's Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. All these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Stand on this red line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. To pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. 40 stars and stripes. March in line. March in line. Hey. Hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. Thank you all for coming in on this Wednesday at 8 p.m. We've got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to go over. But before we get into this thing very, very deep, Harbor Creek, we've lost two great men, two great heroes, two great community guys that put their heart and soul into being members of a volunteer fire department. My good friend Rich from Fairfield, he's originally from Northeast, and of course, Robert from the Harbor Creek Fire Department. Both of these two gentlemen had served our community well over 50 years in one capacity, either this department or that department. But the community is definitely losing two great institutionally knowledged gentlemen, and their funerals will be coming up here very shortly. Mr. Craig will be laid to rest tomorrow. Will be on the honor guard. He was an Army veteran, a member of the American Legion here in Wesleyville. So they have asked us to do the 21 gun salute. So it'll be my privilege to be attending and doing the honor guard. So again, say goodbye to these fine heroes that put a lot of time into their community, and all they asked was a very simple thank you. And also, oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. There we go. Mojo McCabe. He was only 62 years old. He has been one of the icons of Erie radio. I remember way back when, and we're the same age. So he started his radio career quite a while ago, and he was the voice of rock and roll on Rocket 101 that went to Rocket 105. And unfortunately, he is gone. He with all the big radio stuff going on, iHeartRadio bought Rocket, and he was let go. So it was really sad not to hear his voice. I've met him several times. Great guy. So, and unfortunately, we lost a hero of the airways. And then the big one, unfortunately, is Pope Francis passed away. You know, we lose people every day, so we should personally stop and reflect on what we have and not what we don't have, because we're here for just a quick minute, and that time is valuable. And don't forget to call your parents. I'm just saying, I'm blessed to have both my parents alive. Brenda's parents are alive. We interact with our parents as much as we can, and we appreciate that. So, I just wanted to say goodbye to some people that really were influencers and have touched our lives one way or the other. I never met the Pope, but I didn't always agree with him, but he was the Pope, and that's the way it goes. So, wow, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It is TikTok time, not the app, but TikTok time when it comes to our local races coming up. We literally have only a couple days left to get people registered to vote for the primary, of course. We are about a month away from the primary, and it's really important. And we can't complain if we don't vote. I always love people that get angry. Then I said, "Did you vote?" Well, no, I didn't vote. I'm not even registered to vote. I'm like, "Tut, tut, tut, you're doing this, and you should be doing that," because unless you register to vote and get out and vote, um, I don't want to hear any of your shenanigans. And then if you get mad at the judges, make sure that you got out and voted for our judges. We've been flashing, all the local candidates on our side. Hashtag vote red instead. That's Brenda kind of came up with that hashtag, and it's been kind of very popular around Erie County, and we appreciate that. Brenda putting her thinking cap on one night, and of course, mine were out there in left field, and of course, hers were right on the money. Well, welcome aboard, Miss Batista. Thank you for calling so early. I wasn't expecting you for another like half hour.
Well, it's safer for me to do it now because I think it's gonna last past 8:30 with people trickling out, so I snuck it before the next congressman speaking.
Well, that's okay, and we appreciate that. Folks on the line, we had advertised about having Maria Batista on the show. We were gonna do a video, and she's like, "I can't. Can I do a call about 8:30?" But that's how we work. We just kind of go with the flow, adapt and overcome, as
Well
we say in the army.
well,
So,
I really appreciate this opportunity. I'm in beautiful Monroe County right now.
oh, that's awesome. So basically, I know you professionally, and we ran around Erie putting signs up, and we're still working hard for you. But the people that listen to this show might not know who you are. So I'm going to turn over the golden microphone over to you, and you tell us your story. Who is Maria Batista? Why you're running for office, and why should we vote for you? The microphone's
Thank you
yours.
so much. My name I'm a candidate at the Pennsylvania Superior Court. Most people don't know what that court does, but think about your Court of Common Pleas in Erie County, and those are all criminal in your county, as well as most civil cases. Custody. They also do real estate matters, first states in all those cases that the judges in
Hey, Maria, can I cut you off for just a second?
court.
We're you're breaking up. I don't know if you're inside a building or not. Could you maybe try a different location? Because we're like getting every other word out of you.
Better. I'm outside.
Right. Like you gotta love cell phones. So just turn to the left, turn to the right, and see if we get a better signal from you. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna drop the call, and then I'll call you. I'm gonna call her right back. Maybe we can catch a different connection. That's the trouble with cell phones. You love them and you hate them, and they work well, and then they don't work well. So let's try that again.
Hi, Brian. Can you hear me a little better now?
So much better. So let's start where we started off because we got every third word.
My name is Maria Batista. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Brian. I am a candidate for the Pennsylvania Superior Court. That is one of the two statewide appellate courts in Pennsylvania, just below the Supreme Court. Most people don't know what this court does. Think about your Court of Common Pleas and the judges in your county in Erie. They hear all criminal cases that occur in your county, and they hear civil matters, including those involving family and children. Those cases, if appealed, would go to the Superior Court. It's one of the busiest courts in the nation. There are 15 judges that sit on that court. Right now, there are 6 Republicans, 8 Democrats, and there's 1 open seat, and that is what I'm running for. I was one of the endorsed candidates in 2023 for that court, and I won first place in 52 of 67 counties. And yet, Brian, I could not secure one of those seats. I lost by 1.39% statewide, and that comes out to 77,995 votes. We can do better in 2025, thanks to all of the people in Erie and across this Commonwealth who work so hard. And we have so many more Republican registered voters now, as well as people are accepting the mail-in ballots. And between the two, that's how we were successful in 2024, and we can do it again in 2025. I am from Clarion County. I am your Northwestern candidate and Western candidate, and we did very well in all of Western Pennsylvania. I fell a little short in Erie, but I think we can overcome it this time. We have a lot of support for Team Batista in Erie County, and I see many of the people in Erie putting my signs out, including Tim Kuzma and you and so many others that are in the grassroots and helping me throughout this Commonwealth and in Erie County in particular. My career started in 1993 as a lawyer. I started in Crawford County with a firm that some people may know, may not remember. It no longer exists. It was Culberson, Weiss, Troma, and Shug, and it's now part of Steptoe and Johnson, which is a national firm. And I did insurance, defense, and some business work. I had my own private practice for a number of years in Clarion County. Again, I'm from northwestern Pennsylvania in the northwest part of the state. And I did all the types of civil cases that would go to the Superior Court. Those include, again, the real estate, the family law, oil and gas, business law, wills and estates, and so much more. I also was a former prosecutor in 2 counties, both Franklin and Venango counties. And I had the honor to serve under Governor Corbett and then into the next administration as a lawyer in both the Departments of State and Health. In the Department of State, I was a hearing examiner and issued hundreds of decisions. And if those decisions were appealed, they would go to the Commonwealth Court. The skills that I had to use to write these types of opinions are the same skills that are necessary for a judge on the Superior Court. We know that our courts are very important. It's the last stop. We need judges that are not only conservative in terms of the law and the Constitution and to apply them as written to the specific facts of each case, but those that are not going to be legislating from the bench, which is the role of our state representatives and our state senators. And I am one of those individuals. I'm an independent thinker. I've been fair and impartial. I would keep politics out of the courtroom like I did as I was the hearing examiner and treat everybody fairly. It doesn't matter, Brian, what party you are affiliated with or if you're not even registered to vote. Every person that walks into a courtroom or their case goes up on appeal wants judges that are going to look at that case with fresh eyes, with no preconceptions or predispositions or any types of influences. They want them to see that case on its face and make a determination. And not every case is going to go for one party or another, but you want to make sure that those judges are fair. And that is really what people want. People want people that are honest, have integrity, and going to do the right thing every single time. And I am that candidate.
That is a great opener. I had a little sheet of paper here with some questions, and you pretty much ran through my whole gauntlet of questions. And the big one that I hear a lot of, and I've talked to some of the local judges about legislating from the bench. We are seeing this in an unbelievable amount, and it has to stop. And I think that's why people are very excited about this race. And I think that the traction you've gotten here in Erie County in the past will almost double because people are really tired of all the shenanigans that we see daily with President Trump and these judges, and it has to stop. I mean, it really is. So I'm assuming you have a website. What would that website be if people want to get some more information about you?
It's Batista for Judge, B as in boy, ATTISTA for judge.com. I'm on Facebook. Would love to have people liking and sharing my Facebook posts. And if they would like to volunteer to help us, especially on election day and at the polls and passing out literature about who I am, that would be just wonderful. And again, it's Batista for judge.com. And you're right, when you talk about the judges, not only do they want them to be fair, but they want them to have some common sense. And what I bring, in addition to all the qualifications that are necessary for a judge of a superior court, is that I am geographically located in an area that people don't usually see judges on these appellate courts. You know, I'm from a rural county. There are many rural counties across this Commonwealth. Most of the judges sitting on these appellate courts are from Allegheny County, Philadelphia, Chester, Montgomery, and some of the few counties that are in the middle part of the state. We only have 2 judges right now sitting on the 3 appellate courts in Pennsylvania that are from rural counties, and that's McKean County and Tioga County. And so I would bring that third person on the court where we don't have that type of geographic diversity on the Superior Court.
And I tell you what, you were just in Waterford with us, and I learned a lot. I had the privilege of holding one of your signs. So did Kim. You know, we are like your 2 biggest fans here in Erie County because we're able to see through the malarkey and the shenanigans, and we get it. And just to stop and go back in history, last time you ran for office, you were hit by a car out putting yard signs up, and you still got up the next couple of days and we're out putting yard signs up with your little wing and a sling. I'm like, man, that is some intestinal fortitude. So that's where you really, really earned a lot of respect from me. I had some great pictures out on the range, but I tell you, they just weren't, I don't know, very judgish of you out on the range shooting an AR-15. And so I chose not to put those up there. So when you have someone that says, "Hey, I'm all about the Second Amendment," I literally sat next to her while she shot an AR-15 with the state representative Jake Banta, and we tried to talk her into shooting the 50 cal. She's like, "Oh no, I'm little." So she stayed with the
Well, it's
AR.
not even that. I still have injuries on my left shoulder from that car hitting me
I
too. So
know, I
it
know
was
you.
a combination. I didn't want to have that kickback on the shoulder because I shoot left-handed.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah,
So on
so
my shoulder, that would have been a little bit too much.
yeah. So I mean, I keep flashing the picture of Kim and myself in your 4x4 poster at the Seamburger Club, so people can actually visualize. So just imagine her out on the range with her glasses and everything, just having a blast with an AR-15. So this is a woman that's not scared of anything. I don't care if it's a car or an AR-15. She fights through it. So yeah, so I mean, that was a great presentation in Waterford. I learned a lot, and I tell you what, once you broke those numbers down, I tell you what, you should have won Erie County. I mean, you really should have. That was a close race, and I think you're going to do much better in Erie County because I think with the Trump situation, people have woken up, and the local Republicans have woken up. Our registrations have really shifted. We got Scott Pressler coming to Erie tomorrow. We're going to talk about that later. But, we are putting boots on the ground. That's why we do the show, to give a voice to people that don't have a voice. And, the big radio stations, they're not going to talk to you. But we're on 7 channels. By the end of the night, we'll have over 1,000 people just on one channel. And, I'm looking at the little gas gauge now. Facebook is winning. We got more people on Facebook and X, but it all gets shot out there. So, what is your closing argument, ma'am?
Brian, I want people to know that I share their values. I share their principles. We must protect our rights and our freedoms. And you want judges that are going to do that for you on the bench and uphold the law and Constitution as written. I'm an independent thinker. I have the right judicial temperament, and I would do what's right in every single case. And I would be honored to have the vote of your listeners.
There you go. And that's why we do this show, and we make time for everybody. Now, what's good? I've had a, excuse me, I had a couple Democrats who are like, "Oh, are we allowed on your show?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Why not? I'm not that big of a meanie. I mean, you talk to the right people, they say I am, but I'm willing to have a conversation. I want to hear both sides of the argument. So thank you for your time. We're going to go ahead and make sure we put a link up on the scrolling marquee at the bottom. That way people can look you up for some more information. Again, just right on social media, on Facebook. And we appreciate your time because I know you are a very, very busy person.
Thank you so much, Brian, and thank you for this opportunity to speak with your listeners. And you have a wonderful evening.
You are welcome back anytime, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye. Well, there you go. How often do you get the access of a candidate that is ready to go, and she is just a fighter and is not scared? I don't care if it's an AR-15 or a speeding car. She didn't blink, So there it is. We've had her. We were going to do a video, but then she's at a dinner. She couldn't get her laptop out. And again, we the show is live, so none of this is re-recorded or planned. I had some notes here, and she just went right down the checklist of my notes. So, if you wanted to call in, now is the time to call in. We got our saying goodbye to all our friends and families. We got Maria Batista. We got her interview done. So, now it's time to get this party started. Brenda,
Well,
want to throw a
thank you
video
very
up?
much, everybody,
Please.
and a
We got
very
some
happy
doozies.
Easter to everyone. It was a beautiful day yesterday, and it's a beautiful day today. We don't have to worry about sunburn, but we looks like it's not going to be raining. It's going to be really something special. 40,000, 42,000 people are expected all throughout the day, and it's an honor to have you. I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. So he was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world, and it's an honor to do that. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is some band. I've heard this band actually indirectly for 4 years and very directly now for 4.5. And I like the direct method even better. But the Marine Corps Band is very, very special. Thank you very much. What a great job. Thank you. Thank you. I also want to thank the National Park Service, the job they do and making everything so beautiful and spiffy And I'm very difficult when it comes to that. I will tell you, very, very difficult. That I say they have done an incredible job. You just have to look around and see. And I just want to give a special thank you to our great First Lady who organized this entire event. She worked very, very hard on it. She worked very hard. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm working on the egg roll." I said, "That sounds like a lot of fun." And we're going to have a lot of fun in just a couple of minutes. But again, our country is doing very well. We had the highest number of recruits, enlistments that we've had in, I think, 28 or 29 years, and I'm sure we're going to actually beat that number. It's all happened since November 5th. It's all happened. Enrollment in the military is at a record, and enrollment in the police force, fire forces, and all of the different law enforcement groups. We're setting records, and 6 months ago we couldn't get anybody, and now we're setting records. That's sort of testament to what's happening in terms of the spirit of our country. We love our country, and it's been something very, very special. And speaking of special, Easter is special, and it's one of our favorite days. It's one of our favorite periods of time. We're honoring Jesus Christ, and we're going to honor Jesus Christ very powerfully throughout our lives, all throughout our lives, not just now, all throughout our lives. We're bringing religion back in America. We're bringing a lot of things back, but religion is coming back to America. That's why you see the kind of numbers that you're seeing, the spirit and the kind of numbers that you're seeing. So we're going to come down and join you right now, but I just want to wish everybody once again, happy Easter, and enjoy your lives. We're going to have a great 4 years. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
What a difference a year makes at the White House. Last year, we had crazy men dressed in rubber suits with their girly parts hanging out, and a bumbling president trying to wander off into the crowd where the Secret Service / armed bunny rabbit had to escort him back on track. Yes, is Donald Trump perfect? No. Does he do stuff I don't agree with? Yes. But I'm telling you, at least we're on the right track. I had a phone call. I'm going to call. It was Tina. I'm going to call her right back. I told her I was playing a video. So hang on. Armed bunny rabbit had to escort him.
Hi.
Okay, you are live. It's always a little bit delayed, so that's why you kind of hear me still talking. But yes, welcome aboard. What can we do for you, young lady?
Well, we've had an eventful day today.
What did you do?
Well, we had some yard signs that we legally placed in public access that adhered to the legal code for Erie City Council Code 303.4.
Right.
Because I read up on the code before we placed them. Well, the treasurer, Angela Amatantangelo, for ECRA, took it upon herself to destroy the signs. She said they were on her property, and she posted on Facebook that she did it.
I saw it.
So guess what we did?
What did you do?
We went down to the Erie Police Department and we filed charges.
Uh-oh. What'd they say?
They gave us a record number. They're turning it over to the detectives. We gave them all the information regarding what she posted, the screenshots, as well as the screenshots of Jasmine Flores trying to incite further destruction of political signs in Erie by saying, if you come home and you find any political signs that you didn't ask for in or near your property, throw them away, burn them, and continue to let them burn up their money and waste their money.
Wow.
And keep buying signs. So we went and we filed a complaint. We got the record number and everything. We talked with 3 police officers, And I said, I know you guys might think this is trivial and we support you 100%, but if we continue to let people get away with doing this, they're going to continue to do it. And I said, it's very childish. And I said, and it is very unprofessional for a sitting city council member to be out there advocating for people to destroy property.
Yep.
And if they think that we're just going to roll over and play dead, they're mistaken. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Oh, I totally agree with you. And our good friend Dave that calls in, and you see, I play up with his security camera. I just know where his camera's at. He actually had some signs stolen, called Erie PD, showed him the video. They actually knew who the person was, got arrested, and I think it was like almost a $300 fine.
And
Whoopsie.
And you know what? All this, you know what this did? It incited the people who are wanting conservative change in Erie, people that weren't even friends with us, started messaging our page saying, we want your signs in our yard.
How about that?
So, not only does it make it seem like evidently Flores and them are scared of the Republican people that are running, because they've never in the city of Erie or Erie County had this number of Republican candidates that they've had to compete against. And they're scared that they're losing this city and that they're going to lose their free gravy train, that they're out there doing the what is it for me, what's in it for me, instead of what's in it for the people of Erie.
Oh, you're totally right. And that's why, we've been pushing, we all push. That's why we do this show. That was the essence of why we did this show, to give us a voice to push back on the establishment and say, you know what? We, the people, it's just like my big argument. They take our money that is, I work part-time in the city. They take my money, but I have nothing to say. And then you have a city councilman is like, we don't care about you people out in Harbor Creek. Really? Watch us do this cool thing called not come to Erie and see what happens. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I completely understand. And I would definitely do that, because if they lost the people that are coming in from places like Northeast Erie, Harbor Creek, Lawrence Park,
yep.
Fairview, that come into Erie to work, some tax base, that's further going to disseminate and deplete the amount of money that they have to work with. They're cutting their nose off to spite their face.
I love the occupational privilege tax that we pay.
Oh yeah.
Love that. That is just like, yeah, you get another, Erie and their fees and their taxes, their occupational privilege. But then I'm not allowed to voice my opinion that I don't like these city council people that call us racist and Klans members. And you think you're going to get away with that? You watch what we do. You have woken up the giant.
And guess what else happened? I had another sign on my street where I live, and at public access, that was not impeding traffic or anything like that, not too high, not too close to any city things like fire hydrants or whatever. It was there when I left today. When I come back, it was missing, but the one square over, there was a Jasmine Flores sign posted there that wasn't there earlier today.
No, let me put my shock face on so everybody, all the internet can see me put my shock face on, that the Erie Dems aren't doing their little Gestapo. Oh, and they call us the Nazis. Their tactics are exactly what the Gestapo did. They tried to scare people into submission. It just irritates me and makes me work even harder.
Mm-hmm. And so you know what I did? I took a sign that someone had taken and thrown in a ditch that Yvette had picked up, and I went and stuck it right back over there.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Oh yeah, this is an ongoing tit for tat thing. When I ran for council for reelection, Pretzel would have his people tear down. I have great locations. I ran for sheriff. They sliced them all up with a knife, called the cops, no surveillance cameras. I had a sign right around the corner here on private property, and they chose to come on there and just destroy them because they are the party of hate. But then point their fingers at us and say, we're the angry ones. Listen, yeah, we're
and that we're
angry.
stooping
Yeah,
low, and
yeah,
we're not playing fair.
right.
And that is incorrect.
No,
Someone also made the comment about well, something about Deontay Cooley. Well, that's how a true leader handles it. And I made the comment back to Drew Whiting, which is who it was, and said, "Oh, thank you. I, exactly how I handled it." I said, I posted on Facebook so the people in the city could know that the treasurer of ECRA likes to go out and destroy private property on public access, public land where they're allowed to be according to code. And then I followed up with filing a police report.
yeah.
That's what true leaders do.
Oh no, I get it. You know, they are the party of disaster, and scare tactics, and just mean, nasty. But then when we turn it and flip it around on them, the, I got to
Oh,
call.
it's not for thee. It's not for me. It's, for thee. You have to follow the rules, but I don't.
Right. Well, I get a call from a friend of mine. Won't mention his name. He got a call from a friend of a friend, which is an Erie cop, and they were actually trying to file charges against me because I was using an undercover Erie Police Department vehicle to tow around Kim's deal. Now, the funny part of the story, they've done this before. This clown that's running for Erie County Council was the chairman of the Democrat Party. When he was the chairman, he wrote a letter demanding I be thrown off the Board of Elections because I misappropriated a county vehicle, which county vehicles are white, mine's blue, and the
And it's
trail,
personal.
yeah, and the trailer I misappropriated from the fire department. And of course, I put it on social media. I said, "Well, here's a picture of my license plate." It says, and I said, "Here's a picture of a fire department." No, they look nothing alike. And I tell you what, the trailer was mine. Here's the registration. Go screw yourself. But this is what they do. Look what happened with this ongoing story where the kid stabbed the other kid in the heart. The victim's parents got swatted by the police department. They called them
Oh,
up.
I saw that. Yes.
So,
And they ought
so
to be arrested. Whoever did that ought to be
oh, they
arrested.
will. Oh, they can trace the calls back. But some of these people are pretty sophisticated. These kids can use computers and bounce shit around all the time. But the point is, how many times do we have to show you and prove to you we're not the problem here, boys and girls?
Yep.
We have congressmen and women running down to El Salvador to save a guy that's a
Is a criminal.
he's a criminal, and he's not a US citizen. But we have people living in tents on our own soil, and this guy
Yep.
from Florida goes down there to try to get this guy out, and the guy's from Massachusetts or whatever. So it's all bullshit, and they wonder why they have a 21% approval rating. It's not my numbers, it's theirs.
Oh, and did you see that they had another like 20-something-year-old female from Maryland that was killed
Saw
by an
that.
illegal immigrant today?
Saw that. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
and there was ice all over Erie today
Good, good. If you see something,
on the east side,
yep. It's just like the
over
same,
there by the AutoZone and stuff.
just like the same tactic when the Democrats locked us down illegally with
If
the
you see something, say something.
see something, say something. They wanted us to turn our own neighbors in, and there was people that did it. Tim Walz is the king of the hotline, and there's a couple. You can go online and you can read. I'm sorry, not read. You can listen to some of the calls of people snitching their neighbors out because they're out mowing their lawn with no mask on.
It just doesn't make sense.
No.
But while I'm on the phone, the other thing that I want to bring up is they approved 5-0. They said was unanimous, but there's supposed to be 7 city council people, and there was 2 missing. They approved for home rule charter to be put on the ballot in November. So we really need to get out there, and we need to make sure people are educated, because that is something that's going to make or break the people who live in this city on a daily basis. And when I was looking at the home rule charter, the pros and the cons, and I've been doing post where it says educating about home rule charter part 1, part 2. One of the things that home rule charter can do is remove the cap that the state puts on municipalities and cities like Erie on the amount of tax or the rate of tax that they can charge people who live in the city.
Oh yeah. No, these people are going to the home rule charter because it's going to benefit them and it's going to screw
Right.
the little guy. Now, when the county back in the 70s changed, they went from a commissioner, which is the same problems they're having in Mill Creek. You have three super, you have three that sit there and it only takes 2 votes. How do you think Kim Clear and Olette are running rampant with just spend, spend, spend? I think the number I heard there's $7 million upside down, and now they want to buy another dilapidated, rundown building that needs millions. The Zemzem, they want to turn it
Yep.
into a senior center
And a library.
Stop.
Who still uses a library?
The one downtown is, it's slowly dying a death. Why do you think we brought Project Neptune on live to throw some money at it and try to bring some life back into it? And you swear to God, we stole their lunch money and can't buy candy.
Because to me, this is their way around of having a cap on what they can tax on the citizens of Erie.
Yep.
And which is different than what Erie County does. Erie County said that anyone that held office could not be on the commission to do the study. Erie said that they're not going to put that on there.
Of course not, because they're going to rig
So
the
that
system.
people who run Erie, like city council members,
Yep.
can be on the commission.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's a rigged system, and they're getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar. I don't know why you would move away from a mayor to the home rule charter when basically they run parallel, other than the intimate details of the two. I'm not a lawyer. I just know that we switched to home rule charter, which gives you 7 representatives, which right now the city of Erie has different representative, but see, the difference on council is they're done by districts. I was District 5. So you have
Yep.
to be a representative. Now here in the city of Erie, it's just a seat, which never made
Yep.
sense. You should have people in an area to represent that area. But hey, what
Yep.
do I know? What do I know?
Everywhere I've ever lived, it's been like this. This is the first place I've ever lived that it was just citywide.
I totally get. Well, leave it to Erie to make it backwards, and we are losing population. We have lost the business base. It's turning into a nonprofit sanctuary city, and they scratch their heads and go, "Why is everybody leaving?" And every time you go through a neighborhood, there goes another house. There goes another house off the tax roster.
There goes a business that
Yep.
could have been revamped
Yep.
or done something too, and maybe some improvements, and then gone. It's gone, and you just have vacant land. And then how long does it take to develop it?
No, well, that's the same mistake they're making out in Mill Creek. But hey, what do I know? But hey, I gotta get rolling.
Yeah, you too. I
Thanks for
appreciate you
calling.
letting me put that out
No,
there.
you're fine. We appreciate
But
it.
just be careful and you watch you guys' signs, and they're
No,
getting
gonna steal
dirty.
'em.
So
I warned all of you guys. They're gonna steal them. You're.
I know.
They're,
And you know
it's-
what? I had someone say, if they steal them, I'll get you some new ones.
Right? About $5 a piece. So talk is cheap. All right. Thanks for calling out. Hey,
All
tell
right,
your
bye.
husband I said hi. See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, there you go, boys and girls. Isn't it funny how you have just the same characters running all the shenanigans? Ekra's been in the news 100 times. There's a hashtag, Perry Wood should step down from running Ekra while he's running for office. It's real easy to call a press conference and hand out a paper check. And of course, he's been caught with his hands in his cookies jar using, official types for his campaign. Hey, Kim, you're live.
Well, hello, Brian. I want to remind everybody
The early in-person voting has started at the
Yep.
Erie County Courthouse.
Get out and vote, and get out and vote as many times as you get away with. No, I'm kidding.
Right. So even if you have not applied for a mail-in ballot, it's okay. And if you have applied for one, it's still okay. All you have to do is go to the courthouse, say, I would like to vote early. If you have not applied for one, they'll have you apply for one there. Bring your driver's license with you. You can go ahead and vote. Okay, if you've already applied for one, let them know and they will look you up, show them your driver's license, and you can vote. So, everybody, if you have a few minutes, do it now. There's no line up there right now. I talked to Mrs. Fernandez on the phone today. She said you'll be there all of 5 to 10 minutes.
I did it
So,
last year. I did. I went
yeah,
down there. I mean, I'm here always preaching the choir. I know people that have mail-in ballots. Thanks to the Democrat-controlled county council and the board of elections, they totally screwed the pooch on that one last year. So, you can thank, and you remember when you vote for something, it's consequences, good, bad, or indifferent. But yeah, I went down there and did the early voting thing. Painless. I was the only one there. The ladies down there were great. In and out. Boom. Have a nice day.
right. So there's no line or
Nope.
anything. So
Get her
really,
done.
guys, we really need every single registered Republican down there and voting right now. I know it's only the primary, but we really need you guys down there. I want to remind everybody about Leanne Orton. She's running for judge. She is the only Republican on the ballot. School board and judges can cross file. So you will see 3 names on there. You'll see Leanne, you'll see Mirsky, and you'll see Jeremy Leitner on your ballot. So remember, Leanne Orton is the only real Republican on your ballot when you go to vote. There'll be a meeting on May 1st. Anybody that's willing to stand outside the polls, please let Donna Reese or Nate Ribner know, because we really need people to greet people at the doors. We'll have postcards. You can say, thank you for coming to vote today. We appreciate you. Here's our suggested people, and we'll hand them a postcard. That is so important because a lot of people actually do not know who they're going to vote for until they get to the polls.
Why do you think we're knuckleheads and stand out there and hand out stuff? So
Because we don't have a life.
yeah, no, I have a very busy life. Thank you very much. Matter of
I know
fact,
you do.
I was out there putting your sign together this afternoon after working today. I
I
took
know,
my
and I
nap,
appreciate you so much.
but I did get a little nap in there, so I'm giddy.
Which I interrupted. So thank
That's
you
all right.
for your time.
You're fine.
And I do want to, there is a little bit of confusion on this home rule thing. They're not actually voting on the home rule charter. They're voting on whether or not to have a home rule charter commission. Okay. And then they're going to try and get as many Democrats as possible on this commission. People have to actually run for that. So they're going to be putting out petitions. They got to get so many signatures and stuff. And Chucky Nelson, who is pushing this, is going to try and get his friends on this commission. So we know that they're going to get this commission study on the ballot. We know they're going to vote for it. So we're going to look for some really, really smart Republicans to run for this home rule charter commission. So the way they're stating it is incorrect. So they're not actually going to vote on the home rule charter. They're voting on the study for home rule.
Right. And they're going to rig the system. They're going to stack the deck with the people I know are going to be, you're voting your conscience, right? Wink, wink.
Right. And you don't want people like Hagzilla on there, because she's already said she's in favor of it. So we got to get some really smart people like Harrison Dunn and some younger people, on this home rule charter commission.
It'll be the same recycled people that you see on everything.
Right.
That's what Erie does. They just
Right.
recycle the same yes people. Then they scratch their heads and go, what's going on? Why is everybody leaving? Why does Erie suck? Why is our crime so high? Why are the roads so bad? Gee, I don't know.
Right. And one of the things they can do is, especially with our fire and police, is once their contracts expire, they do not have to renew them. And that's not going to be a good thing.
No.
So, we already know this commission study is going to pass. So we have to get some really smart Republicans on that commission. So we will get more information to you guys about that when it happens. So I just wanted to clarify that. But the biggest thing right now is we got to get you guys to either show.
Uh-oh. I lost her. But yeah, I put the I put my QR code up there. If you're not registered to vote, which I know all you people are, or you want to change your party, just scan this. It'll take you to Linktree. If you're done, just say goodbye, thank you. But
No,
just to
my
hang up.
dog hung up the phone on you.
Oh! My dog hung up the phone.
Yeah, BB walked on top of the
Whatever.
phone.
Man,
He got jealous, I guess.
Listen, I used that in the 6th grade. My dog ate my homework, and I didn't even have a dog.
Now you've met BB. You know how nasty he
No,
can
she
be.
doesn't let me get within 5 feet of the house.
I know he does. He's a nasty little
No,
chihuahua.
I know.
But like I said, the Democrats are going to try and take that one over. And if that happens, they'll disband the whole Erie City Council.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, I mean, they could basically throw 3/4 of it out today. It would be an improvement. It really would.
This is true. This is true. So, and with that, I'm going to let you go, and I do want to remind people, we do have a new website out. I do. It really, it's makeeriegreatagain.net. If anybody wants to get on there and look at some pictures and some stuff, it's still work in progress, but I would appreciate your support. And if anybody needs a t-shirt or a hat, please get a hold of my great campaign strategist, Miss Brenda. And with that, I'll let you go.
All right. Thanks, Kim. Thanks for the updates. We appreciate that. Again,
and I appreciate you and
effort.
Brenda and all your hard work.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. But like I was saying, QR code, scan the QR code, takes you to Linktree, takes you right to voter registration. Save that image if someone needs to get registered to vote real quick. I don't think we have enough time to do an actual mail-in ballot change or request one or change party affiliation. But I got to tell you, Miss Jasmine wow, she got a black eye today on social media. And there were some, I should have clipped them and showed them to you. One lady was like, I'm paraphrasing, of course. I voted for you before, but I'm not doing it again because of your racist rants, and that's it. She wants to drill down and die on this hill. You're going to die on this hill. I mean, I've talked to some Democrats that I'm friends with, and they are predicting that she is not going to make it. She is not going to make the cut. Her racist rant doesn't go well. But the problem is, it's a play out of the Democrat playbook. That's what we're supposed to do. Nazis, Nazi, racist. No. Why do you think you people are? I cannot wait till their approval rating goes down below 20. I mean, this will be record shatter breaking, of just crazy stuff. And that's why they're doing this whole thing in El Salvador, is to look at us. We got to win. We care about illegal murderers and rapists. We care about them. We do. Yay. Look what we did. And there was another illegal that unlived a nice young lady today. It's all over the news, but hey, they need their due process. That is the kick in the teeth of most of this these radical Democrats. They need due process, so yeah. Brenda, want to play video?
But a judge ordered that he should remain in this country. So are you saying that it is okay to ignore a judge's ruling if you don't like it?
Who does that judge work for? It was an immigration judge who works for the Department of Justice at the direction of the Attorney General of the United States, whose name is Pam Bondi, who has committed to eradicating MS-13 from our nation's interior. And let me tell you why we've made this commitment. MS-13, may I remind each and every one of you, is a brutal and vicious gang. They raped and strangled a 20-year-old autistic woman to death in Maryland. They hacked 4 people to death with machetes in a park on Long Island. They have kidnapped, sexually tortured, and shot a teenage girl in Texas after she insulted them, allegedly. killed and mutilated a 17-year-old girl in Virginia, stabbing him 16 times and cutting off his hands. They beheaded and cut out the heart of a man in Washington, D.C. They raped and murdered a 13-year-old girl in California. They sex trafficked a slew of young girls, including one who was just 12 years old. Raped an 11-year-old girl in Brooklyn while her brother was in the room. Sex trafficked a 13-year-old in Maryland and Virginia, miles away from this White House, even beating her 26 times on her backside with a baseball bat. Pressured homeless New Yorkers to undergo unnecessary surgeries such as spinal fusion in order to bolster their fraudulent lawsuits. These are vicious criminals. This is a vicious gang. And I wish that the media would spend just a second of the same time you have spent trying to litigate each and every individual of this gang who has been deported from our country as the innocent Americans whose lives have been lost at the hands of these brutal criminals. We maintain our position, and very strongly so. Jennifer.
I got to tell you, I saw this. I'm going to play it. It's oh, as much as they're defending these people, we had to play that one. We had to get it up. So yeah, I know we're running a little late. We had some great calls. We had a great guest on there. I hate to short their time because their time is so valuable, and they're taking the time to stop here in little Erie to get their message out. So Brenda, go ahead and play another video. Now you got some on deck.
Shocking new video from New York City. This is in the lower Manhattan area. And this is the meatpacking district, as they iconically call it. This is a Tesla dealership just coming into us. And you can see two people defacing a Tesla showroom with spray paint in downtown Manhattan, a bright red paint. They tag the windows with Doge crossed out. We do not consent. And F Doge. They actually had the word. In fact, we can't even show you the entire video because so much of it is profane. We'd have to keep blurring it out, and we haven't quite been through this whole thing yet to effectively do that. We want to make sure that we do. You can see the two people are not wearing masks, so we can see their faces clearly. I don't know if they have a job, but we know who they are. One is wearing a pink shirt that reads "Climate Change Equals Mass Murder." Molly.
Yeah. It's nice the cops show up and put handcuffs on. Love it.
I'm your police liaison. Call me Wolf. Any questions you have, I'm right here to answer for you.
Police liaison.
Why are you being arrested? Why?
People do not consent to unelected fascists.
Why is he being arrested?
This is Earth Day. Earth Day started with direct action. This is what it's about. Taking action because we don't consent, and we have power when we don't consent.
Move out of
Guys!
it.
I got the whole thing on video.
Back off, back off.
Happy we said that.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Is this enough?
That's perfect. That's fine. But it's something that shouldn't have been done. No, he's gonna get charged with vandalism. That's all it is.
Yes, you do. If I told you what I'm going to do.
Parking lot has been empty for years.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
Yeah. The party of tolerance and joy is only tolerant and joyful when you agree with them. And the minute they don't like you anymore, like, Elon Musk, he was their hero until the Democrat Party said, no, he's not your hero because he's catching us with their hands in the cookie jar with all the fraud, waste, abuse. And we appreciate that. So keep up the good work. Keep pushing down that 20% approval rating. I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll get there. I'm going to give you a call back, but you're going to have to make it kind of quick because we spent a lot of time with your wife. So, I'm giving you a call. Just keep it short.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, what's going on? I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, we're running a little bit behind. So kind of keep it a little bit on the short side for me. All right.
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback on what you said about the Jasmine Flores thing.
Yes.
Real quick, what I wanted to mention is that I have it within good source that I've heard just about these last few days that there are people in the Latino community that are getting really tired of her with this racist rant about calling patriots KKK and Nazis and all this other crap. And that I feel, and if everybody's listening, that we really need to be present at the next city council meeting in big numbers to show her that, you know what, enough of this shit, it has to stop. And if you don't want to stop it, we're going to make you stop it. So I'm going to be there. My voice is going to be there. My attitude is going to be there. I'm not going to be nice to them. I'm going to show them exactly the kind of people that we truly are, because we're in the right and they're in the wrong. We're the patriots and they're the scum. And with that, I'm going to let you go. But
All
I
right.
had to let you know.
I appreciate your words. So there you go. You've got your challenge. Let's look up the next city council meeting and let's go pay him a visit and say, hey, remember us? We're
That's right.
Yeah, we're the Red Hat KKK members. And how's that working out for you? This Jasmine, not so good. Our little bump in the road has gone viral. I mean, the libs of TikTok and certain YouTube people that put this stuff together, it's in the millions. So you know what? She's taking the heat, and we love it, and that's what why we're going to win and get her out of there.
Amen.
All right, brother. Thanks for the call.
A recent
right, take
Facebook
care.
post from Erie City Council's president made for a rowdy scene at tonight's meeting.
Tyler Gallagher was there at City Hall. He joins us now here in the studio with much more on what was said. Tyler.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Dozens of Trump supporters filled city council chambers tonight, calling for Council President Jasmine Flores to resign. On October 28th, City Council President Jasmine Flores made a post on her personal Facebook page accusing 90% of Trump supporters of being racist, even comparing them to the KKK. And many local Trump supporters took offense to that comment.
I just think it's disgusting because when she is calling people who wear red hats the KKK without actually getting to know us, without taking the time to talk to us and understand our positions, it's actually racism.
After the city council president made some comments on Facebook comparing Trump supporters to the KKK, dozens of supporters came out to the city council meeting tonight in their red hats, and some even wearing shirts that say red hats, not white hoods.
Well, what this is showing that, yeah, we're wearing red hats, but we are not members of the KKK. It's okay to think what you want to think and to post what you want to post, but when you're an elected county official or a city official, you're held to a much higher standard.
Some Trump supporters in attendance took to the podium for some passionate remarks for the council president, calling for her resignation. And even after public comment wrapped up, some attendees got into an altercation with security needing to get involved. But Flores stands by her Facebook comments, saying she will not be resigning from her position.
I stand by what I said. You see something, you say something. If I made them uncomfortable because of what I said, maybe you need to readdress how you guys are approaching the community at large. City of Erie voters elected me at large within city limits, and I will not disrespect them by leaving my seat. I will be running for re-election.
And Council President Flores says the behavior at the county council chambers tonight was unacceptable. Back.
It's unacceptable because they're used to the three people showing up saying, yes, Your Majesty, we agree with you, Your Honor. We agree with you. Yes, you're wonderful. We appreciate. Now, because, talk about kissing some backside. That's all they do. I watch their meetings. I'm not driving down there to watch the same three people say the same blah, 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 the city, this. It's ridiculous. So here she calls us out knowing we're going to respond because we're not going to let it go because we're not members of the KKK. And if you know your history, actually, the granddaddy poobah of the KKK was a Democrat party, wasn't us. We freed the slaves. The Democrat shot the Republican that freed the slaves. Now, who's the racist and who's the violent one? We have a Republican duly elected president by the popular vote, college electoral vote, and they still say he's not my president. Well, you know what? Tough. Like the sign says, we won, and that was great timing. We won. Get over it. We had to get over it. When Joe was there for 4 years, we didn't try to go shoot him. We didn't try to take him out. We didn't do that stuff. We didn't. We just sat there and we took his stupidity and stumbling and bumbling. Um, you know, so Senator Dan Laughlin has been on social media. He has been really helping us push the hashtag vote red instead. Brenda's hashtag. And we appreciate that, Senator Laughlin, for coming out and saying, yeah, you're right. The city of Erie needs to change. We keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And people like, oh, but why didn't it change? Because you reelected the same philosophy that you did 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. And the population is dwindling. The school districts are suffering. The roads suck, and you just keep electing these, Ed Brzezinski, old school Democrat. Do I always agree with him? But I like the guy. I can have a conversation with him. I was on council, we had great conversations. I think I'm going to predict he's going to be the winner of the on the Democrat side. Dave, welcome aboard, sir.
Yes, sir. I got in a little late tonight.
Well, that's okay. Listen, the phones have been ringing off the hook, man. Between Senator Laughlin coming after Jasmine and Chucky Nelson, the phones have been ringing. So you're just on time, actually. What can I do for you?
Yeah, not much going on. Put some signs up today.
And whose signs do you have in your front yard, sir?
I got a few. I got Miss Hunter.
Great.
And then I have the judge, Leah Orton.
Good.
Leah Orton.
Yeah, Orton.
And I put Eddie Brzezinski up too, just to get it on Chuck's case.
Well, because he's the most reasonable guy on city council right now, and we got a great video, thanks to you, about Ed and Chuck. So I don't think there's a lot of love there.
Oh yeah. You gonna put it up now?
Oh, it's. I think it's on deck. I think I went on Rumble and we got it. Okay. It's a good one.
Well, yeah, not much going on over here on the Lower East Side, other than Mr. I got into it with Mr. Chuck texting back and forth. You know.
I'm gonna put my shock face on, sir.
Yeah, telling me how. Boy, I tell you what, that guy's you talk about a word salad. Woo!
I know, I saw
He can put out some word salads, boy. He's talking about 2029 already, 2030.
Was he going to run for like governor or something?
Oh, how great the city's going to be.
We've been saying that for the last 60 years.
Yeah, we got this going, we got the Chris going, and then this, and then that, and this, and that. Holy moly.
Yeah, thanks to Chris for Republican Senator Dan Laughlin. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and then I see that Daria Devlin, time for a change. Well, the time for a change is get a Republican in there, not another Democrat.
Not a left, really leaning hard left. If I lived in the city and I was a Democrat, I would vote for Mayor Joe. At least we know where he's at. He's not that far left. He's a Democrat. But he's that old school like Ed is. Democrat. And that's what the city needs. And that's how the city survived when it was doing well, was those older union Democrats that actually gave a crap about the city and not about, fairy dust and unicorns.
Yeah, that's who I'm gonna probably pull a lever for. Well, you don't pull a lever anymore. I
No,
guess.
you put a dot in there. Boy, you're showing your age.
You fill in the circle.
Yeah, you're showing your age. Pull the lever.
Yeah.
These kids don't even know. What did he just say?
They don't. They probably don't have a clue.
No clue, sir. Not at all.
The dummy lever. How about that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get that. I know. Down in the Erie County Council room, we have a sample of one that they used to take around and show you, and you can still click the buttons. It's like an antique now, but it's in the clerk's office, and you can go sit there and click the numbers and move the bar over to reset them all. How an actual voting machine used to work before this electronic crap.
Yeah, that was the old hanging Chad deal, I guess. That's what they had in Florida, right?
Yeah, the hanging Chad. See, these kids
Did they punch holes, I guess, in the paper or something?
Yeah, when you do click, 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 and you throw the bar, it puts a little bar out and puts a dimple. It's supposed to poke a hole through it. Well, the hanging Chad was where it poked, but it didn't go all the way through. So then the lawyers got involved. It's a hanging Chad. It was, was it dimpled Chad? I'm like, oh, Jesus Lord, there's a dimple, move on. But lawyers, sorry, lawyers.
The good old days.
Right. Yes, sir. We're getting old, sir.
All right. That's all I got. Got all I got for the Lower East Side here. Got the new restaurant opened up, by the way. Taste of Love Restaurant, 901 Parade.
Yeah, go in there and get your $75 crab lunch.
And then you also have the one up on 1301 Parade, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's coming back to life. Yep, coming back to life.
And they already got their trailer parked on the street.
I saw that.
Without any visible motorized unit able to pull it, which is a violation of the city ordinance. You can't park a trailer on a city street without having a mechanized unit, a car or a truck attached to it to pull it.
Or a permit.
Been there for since they opened about a month ago.
Yeah, I caught that on social media, and it's because no one's gonna say anything because they don't want to. Like, oh, you guys are just picking us because it's racist.
Picking on a new business.
Yeah, it's because it's racist. If it was a white company, you wouldn't have a
violation of the law.
It is
like
what
they
it is.
said, the law is the law.
I get it, my friend. I get it, and coming from you, that means a lot.
Yep, that's. But they were talking. Nobody's above the. What's that? Nobody's above the law. Is that how it works?
According to according to the Democrats, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no one's above the law. Okay, well, apparently a restaurant is.
Well, yeah, of course. They're Democrats.
Yeah.
They're above the law. It's just like that crazy lady that prosecuted Trump and now is in trouble for the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Adios.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.
I love it, Dave.
I call him Rocky because his solution for the parkway was to give people bricks to throw at cars to slow them down. I'm a little tired of his garbage. He plays this card all the time. He talks to you one way, and then he calls the paper and gives them garbage.
Now, the essence of the video for the folks that don't understand, they were going down the Bayfront Connector a little quick, and I get that. So Chuck Nelson had a great idea to leave rocks on the side of the road and encouraged people to pick up the rocks and throw at the cars to get them to slow down. This isn't AI. This wasn't made up. This was real. What he really did, and if you really pay attention, oh wow, watch this one. You are live, sir. Mr. Jeff, are you there?
Yeah.
And what do we owe this pleasure?
Well, I don't know, but I'm watching you and talking to you, but is that video real? It's not AI?
No, that is 100% real that they shot. The opening scene is from City Council, Ed Brzezinski talking about Chuck Nelson, and that is not AI. That is a real video that was posted, and he really told people to go down there, pick up rocks, and throw at the cars to get them to slow down. You imagine if some knucklehead actually did that?
That's just absolutely absurd.
It's crazy because that's the problem.
But if that's public, is there nothing he can be arrested for?
Well,
inciting violence or because that's just absolutely absurd. Because that could cause a major accident for somebody to die.
Oh, just imagine you're driving down the road and a rock comes flying through your window. A piece of glass comes in and gets your eye, blinds your children out. And then just because Chuck Nelson thought it was a great idea to get people to slow down by throwing rocks at them.
That's just nuts.
So
okay. I saw that earlier before the show, and then you just played it again, and I just had to verify that because I truthfully, I'm like,
it's unbelievable.
That is just so stupid. It's got to be AI.
No negative, sir. That video is right on YouTube. You can find it. It is not AI. Dave put that video together, and of course he puts music to it, but even his own city council people are saying, "Are you crazy? What are you doing?" And that's why he called them Rocky, because of the whole rock incident. 100% real, bro. We if it's an AI video, we tell you it's an AI video. That was real stuff.
I figured
that was actually a video on Jeff's Facebook page.
I had to just confirm it.
Yeah. On Nelson's.
It's just absolutely crazy.
Right. Brenda just said that video is still, he is so proud. If you actually look at that video again, and he is just so proud with that shit-eating grin that he's picking those rocks up, smiling at the camera. I want to
sign.
Right. Like, yep. He took the time to print those signs up, and there shows intent.
Okay, sir. Well, he'll be off on his way to jail here soon.
Well, this is a couple years old. I think they gave him a stern talking to, but no charges were filed, which is bullshit. If that would have been you or I, we would be in jail.
Well, but if it's still going on, and something happens, they'll go back and say that he incited it.
I totally agree with you, but he's so proud of himself, and while we're here, make sure we say hello to all the Democrat haters that watch the show and go report to their Gestapo leaders, the Democrat cult party. So make sure you say hi, Jeff, to all the Democrats watching.
Yeah, all our idiots.
Oh man, I appreciate your call.
Well, all the idiots that say we're the violent ones, and yet we're not the ones destroying cars and doing all that stuff.
We played the video earlier, then with the Tesla dealership and spray painting the Teslas. And if you work for Timmy Walls, you can do over $20,000 worth of damage to a Tesla's and not be charged. Isn't that just convenient? Google that story up.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is a year ago, before Elon Musk became the head of Doge, all the Democrats were the ones that were pushing Teslas and buying the Teslas. So now the dumbass Democrats
I
are
know.
destroying other Democrats' cars.
Yeah.
All right, boss. It's getting late. I'll let you go.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. We appreciate you calling. Not your really your first time call. We welcome you aboard, sir.
All right, boss. Thanks, Brian.
Bye now.
Bye.
So there we go. Yeah, isn't that convenient? You can work for Tampon Timmy. You can go out and do over $20,000 worth of damage to Teslas, and you don't get charged. Now, the police investigated, they filed the charges, and they would not accept the charges. What a pile of shit that is. I mean, if you are a crazed person that works for Timmy Walls, which makes sense, that because of who you are, again, nobody's above the law, according to the Democrats. That's their favorite little thing they love to say. But yeah, there they are. Brendan, you got another video for us?
Happy Earth Day to everybody except the haters and losers of the radical left who took to Wall Street to spray paint the charging bull.
Everybody travels to this city to take a picture of that bull, and you gotta spray paint some shit on it. Get out!
Over in Soho, vandals got a little spray happy and defaced another Tesla dealership. These people can't even vandalize right. A couple minutes later, they cleaned it all up. I guess some protests are mostly peaceful. The one thing Democrats didn't do today? Condemn attacks on America's top EV company. Tesla terror apparently has no consequences. Liberal judges are letting EV vandals off without any charges. Tamplon's employee, Dylan Bryan Adams, who allegedly caused over $20,000 in damage, is facing no charges thanks to a Soros-backed DA. No charges. Democrats need to calm their base down. The world isn't ending because Trump got elected and plans on reopening coal mines. But the left's relentless. Father Nature himself came out of his green cavern to scream about how we're all going to die.
It is abundantly clear after only 3 months and 1 day that the new Trump administration is attempting to do everything it possibly can to try to halt the transition to a clean energy future and a deep reduction in the burning of fossil fuels. If you doubt for one moment ever that we as human beings have the capacity to muster sufficient political will to solve this crisis, just remember that political will is itself a renewable resource.
Well, that last gentleman speaking was Al Gore, which we call him Igor. He is just a whack job environmentalist, and he absolutely predicted the end of the world would have been within 10 years, 30 years ago. And he bitched and complained about our little vehicles that we drive to go to work, to chisel out reasonable life for our family as he flies around in his private jets to his several homes. It's just like I didn't get the video. You see Mr. Bernie Sanders running around talking about that. He spent over $200,000 in private jets. Private jets to go from one anti-American oligarchy and AOC tagging along like the little puppy dog that she is, thinking that she's going to end up being, a presidential candidate. please. Oh my God, don't do that. Don't run AOC as the president. No, because she can't beat us. As I insert my sarcasm here. Yeah. So they are nothing but hypocrites. You know, we played this on the show before, Bernie Sanders back 20, 30 years ago saying exactly the same thing today as he did 30 years ago. But the problem is mental illness has gone unchecked for so long, these crazies actually believe him this time. And they're like, they're playing out of the same playbook, boys and girls. They're doing exactly the same thing. They're going to run him for president. You watch. You remember this show. He will run for president just like Joe did for the third time. And I mean, I can't even remember how many times Mr. Bernie Sanders has run for office for president. And because he's a communist, anti-American, multi-millionaire that wants us to bow to him and his whim. Brenda, another video?
Let me get this straight. Now we have 4 more senators going to El Salvador on our dollar to try to get back a person that came into our country illegally, got deported, and just so happens to be an MS-13 gang member. Do y'all Democrats ever learn? One of your guys already tried to go get him back, and that miserably failed. All he got is a photo op and some free margaritas. I see what you're doing. You see this nobody senator, nobody knew who he was until he went to El Salvador and tried to retrieve this guy, and now he has all this publicity, and y'all want to hop on that bandwagon now, huh? Now, who exactly are these politicians? Well, there's Robert Garcia from California, Maxwell Frost from Florida, Yasmin Ansari from Arizona, and the lady making the most noise, Maxine Dexter from Oregon. And the reason she's making the most noise is because she said she's not leaving El Salvador until this guy gets released. Well, Maxine, you better start settling in El Salvador because it looks like you guys got denied being able to see him. And I'm pretty sure the president over there is done entertaining you guys. Now, if you really stick it through and refuse to leave El Salvador until this guy gets released, it looks like Oregon's gonna have to find a new senator.
Yeah, I just want to pay for all this. I mean, there's mixed stories. You know, one story is no, they're not paying for it. But then he was on the news talking about how that it was sanctioned. And this clown in the top
this
left.
was an officially cleared, congressional trip, cleared on a
taxpayer
bipartisan
dollars.
basis. Yes, like every other.
Not my words. Yeah, not my words. We paid for his little vacation down south to try to go get this. And this crazy lady from Oregon said she's not leaving. The guy from Florida, which has nothing to do with this at all, decides to become a martyr. These people are going to die on this hill, not physically, but as they say, spiritually, on this fight. The Democrats have absolutely nothing. We've got the border under control within 3 months. The numbers are down. The fence is going up. We figured out how they're fleecing we the people, and they're making money, lots of money. So all they have left is that Trump is trying to, oh God, what was the word they used, Brenda? Not remove people, but disappear people. That's their new catchphrase for this week. All right, everybody, send the email. That's what we're going to call it. And that's the new scary word for this week. And then we'll worry about next week's scary word next week. And it's just a scare tactic. They just want to get you, Trump. They just want to say, we got you. We told you so. He's deporting illegal people, and it's bullshit. And it's just like the story of the two guys at the track meet. One unlives the other one, stabs him in the heart. Now, he didn't do it. It was self-defense. And now they had to move again because their family feels threatened. I could have sworn you just killed their son. And then one of your disciples swatted this poor people that are nothing but trying to recover from this tragic deal. Brenda, video, please. Yeah, check this out. Now, I want you to read this. Now, we only have to get lucky once. Now, this is where your hard-earned tax dollars are going. Kent State University, that is subsidizing it, just like Harvard. We need to get with our legislators and say, why are we subsidizing these private schools? That makes no sense. But this was written on the window of Kent State. But we're the Nazis. We're the party of hate. We're the violent ones. We're this, we're that, we're the, and they're the ones doing it. But they're just pointing their fingers at us. Ridiculous, I say. Looks like you got some more videos on the deck, Brenda.
Welcome to El Salvador, home to breathtaking sunsets, world-class surf breaks, and gangbanger Kilmer Abrego Garcia. El Salvador is the destination for Democrats seeking the thrill of bringing violent criminal illegal aliens back to America. Come witness Trump derangement syndrome in its purest form. From Chris Van Hollen to Cory Booker. You may even see John Ossoff. So what are you waiting for, Senate Democrats? Join your colleagues and step into the rhythm of rescue today.
You know, we go online, Brenda and I, we go online and we try to find funny videos that get a point across. And I'm telling you, I saw that one and I just went, oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. That nails it. Because I guess we're making El Salvador great again. We're fixing their economy by, shipping all our senators down there, and that one crazy lady, I'm not coming home until I bring him home. And I think someone should cut up her credit card and she should be at home doing work. It's just like Josh Shapiro. Have anybody, I know some people don't like TikTok. Josh Shapiro, I swear to God, he spends more time on TikTok than I do. And he's supposed to be the governor running the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but all he's doing is setting up for his run, being the guy of the people. See, look at him. I'm on TikTok. I'm making cakes. And I'm talking about I watched a video today. I wanted to throw up, but he talked about, I don't know, 15 minutes about the Super Bowl that we got to pick up the tab to go see when he's supposed to be running the government and raising our taxes. Oh yeah, he's not supposed to be raising our taxes. And so it's just it's disgusting. It really is, and you know what, people, it's really simple. Hashtag vote red instead. Like we talked about earlier, here's wrong one. Always click the wrong pictures. There we go. QR code takes you to Linktree. Linktree takes you right to the top to voter registration. Literally have days left. Let's get that done. You won't have time to get it in the mail. You can go down there and do it in person. You're going to be feeding the meters. Don't do that because you're just making the parking authority more money. And go there online, get it done, and that way we can get this thing done. Brenda, is that all the videos we got for today?
Yes, sir.
Oh, righty then. So I guess we will bring this thing in for landing. Let's see who won tonight. Well, it was Facebook. Couple nice people on boots on the ground on YouTube. Please like, subscribe. I don't charge anything to subscribe. Please just do that, and that way we can get our numbers up. Facebook is number one. It's so funny when Mayor Longo comes in. He comes in, he brings his crew with him, and we get over 100 people on X. So we don't have the mayor tonight. We got one person on X. That one lonely person on X, thank you very much. We do appreciate you. And other than that, Brenda, you want to go ahead and play our outro? Stan already left us. He had to take care of something. So.
If tomorrow
things were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you spending your Wednesday night with us. It was a beautiful day. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, so please get out and get some sunshine. Everybody could use it. Again, a special thank you to my lovely wife that keeps this all together, plays the videos, and works out all the technical issues because she's better with a computer than I. So, again, a special thank you for that. Thank you for all our folks that called in. That's what makes this show great. Maria Batista came in tonight. We appreciated her conversation, and it's nice to hear someone that actually states, "I'm not going to legislate from the bench," and that's something that I think that we truly, truly need in our future judges. And I just want to get this out here real quick. The 2025 Pennsylvania sample ballot: should Justice White be retained? No. Donahue? No. Daughtry? No. It's real simple. Hashtag no. This is going to be important. This is catastrophically important. We got to get this right because it sets up a really bad scenario with our judges. So it's real simple. You know, whatever his name is, Which, no. Donahue, no. Daughtry, no. Hashtag no. You know, like they used to say, just say no to drugs. Say no to these judges. Real simple stuff. On that happy note, Shank out.